haven't been really honest with you guys. There's been a lot of little things that have been bothering me. The PPF on the driver's side mirror is scratched, and that's from the previous owner. I took out the ducktail last year because it wasn't really fitting well, and I thought I could fix it quickly. Psych, that's a lie. Also, I've curved my passenger side wheels on the first year I literally got them, so that's ass. I also curved my lip and diffuser, so that's nice. With the lip scraping, it broke my underglow. The door handles are chipping. Fuck. Those are just the minor things, man. Then there's this. You know what, guys? This is actually my 8th time boosting this car for about a month and a half. You're probably wondering why 8 times. Let's just back up a little bit to July 14, 2024. It was the annual Street Machine weekend in my city. There were tons of cars in the main street, bumper to bumper, cruising, blasting with some tunes with my girl Kayla with the windows down. Then Billie Eilish's Lunch came on and I was like, yo babe, we need to crank this shit up. And she was like, oh hell yeah. So I cranked that shit up. And then pop, dead head unit, no music, silence, just road noise. We looked at each other in shock. So there's that. I just killed the Tesla style screen. A couple of days later, I attempted to fix it. I figured that it was that I popped a radio fuse in the kick panel. Nope. So I pulled the screen and checked for that fuse. Replaced the fuse, and bam, easy fix. Turned on the car and checked if everything is still good. Nope. Speakers are popping. Bad. BT dubs, I have an aftermarket amp. I noticed that the amplifier's 240 amps fuses are both broken. I replaced them. Turned on the Z, screen is on, no audio. Checked the fuses again, and they're both broken. 240 amps large fuses, man. Okay, now the amplifier is officially dead. To be fair, it's been a pain in my ass ever since I got the car. Well, at least the screen works, right? Right? So I went to Vegas for a week and left the car. I got back, the car is dead. I boosted, no big deal. Next day, dead again. And I suspected an accidental dome light being left on overnight. That was on me. Boosted it, the next day, dead again. And I'm like, what the f? Okay, let's buy a new battery because at this point I can't boost it anymore. Sometime here, I installed a custom steering wheel. If you haven't seen that, it's right over here. Okay, new battery, but 2 days later, it's dead. Again. This feels like a parasitic draw. Then there's my hero. We FaceTimed twice to troubleshoot this. I mapped out what were the changes before this happened because at least you can suss out the mods that are causing this. We thought it would be a short with the wires in my drift switch mod, but those wires are secure, so that's not the culprit. We suspected the steering wheel mod, but if the airbag shorted, we would know, so that's not it either. I did notice that the negative terminal of the battery was loose, so I researched on how to fix this, and this led me to using terminal shims. You literally put it on top of the terminal, and it makes your terminal lead fit again. We suspected a bad alternator, but it's a 2017 car with 58,000 kilometers on the clock. It wouldn't be that bad, but that made me nervous. Now, here's how to check if your alternator is good. While the car is running, get your multimeter and put it on 20 volts, and put the lead to the terminal of the battery. If it reads around 13 to 14 volts, that means your alternator is working and it's charging the battery. Mine read perfectly fine, so I drove 30 minutes to charge the battery and then wait for tomorrow if it dies. Guess what? Dead again. Now this is the time where I learned how to check for parasitic draws. Here's a crash course for you. Get a multimeter, set it to DC 10 amps, and move your positive lead to DC. Unhook the negative terminal of the battery, tap the negative lead to the negative terminal, and your positive lead to the negative terminal of the battery. If it's reading more than 900 milliamps, that means you have a gremlin. Mine read 2000 milliamps, so there's something huge drawing from the battery even if the car is off. I took off the amplifier and a subwoofer, checked for a draw. Nope, those are not it. At this point, Rick and I are in denial. We didn't want it to be the Tesla screen because he has one too, so, We decided to take off the screen fuse. Bam! It dropped 1,000 milliamps. Our hearts sunk. We didn't want to call it, but we did. It was a screen all along, the very thing that started it all. The first thing that I supposedly fixed is the culprit. Great. No audio, no screen, nothing. Major shout out to Rick. Thank you so much, buddy. I couldn't have figured this without you. Now I can drive the Z. Or so I thought. I'm going to post a card right over here when the video is ready on why I couldn't drive the Z again for another month.